call again, and then she just added another phone number to the 13-year-old grandson who's possibly with the daughter. Step out with this.
2412.
Veteran crisis hotline's calling in, so they have a female veteran off her medication. She's over at the safe haven. Detective 12, we'll check that one out.
6-1 bullet, 2-1 started, get shots going.
Officer still stands for time? No. Offender in custody? Anyone else close by this result, let me know.
No, I'm not, Grace. I'm right here. Unfortunately, this mobile hotspot is shit tonight. It makes me wonder because other people were having issues with StreamYard too. I'm wondering if it's StreamYard because I'm looking at my mobile hotspot. My mobile hotspot's 5 bars. So I don't know what's up with that. It's probably StreamYard issues, you guys. I noticed when I was, I had tech issues with the car too, more like mechanical. So I apologize for bumping the show back, and then I saw JLR was getting on at 7:30, so I wanted to go support over there. Show some love. March 11th, y'all. How many of y'all were in JLR's show before the night? Type in 1 if you were in the show. Type in 2 if you weren't. Shout out to Magnolia as well. She was dropping a lot of information, was she not? Shout out to Magnolia as well. Mythical, what's up? Hide and seek. Katrina, what's up? Cabin full normal. Hide and seek, what's up, Mythical? Hide and seek. Number 20, welcome everyone. Thank you. You just see me, right? Oh, thank you, Cherry. Yeah. Look at all those emojis. What the hell is all that? What is all that? I see a siren. What the hell's that first thing right next to us? What is that? Hold on, let me. What the hell is that? A road? What is? Oh, it's a road. It's got to be a road, right? Thank you, appreciate that. StreamYard is really acting crazy, you guys. The chat just went nuts on here, so I apologize if I missed some comments. It is acting crazy. Hopefully it won't affect the show tonight. Ticket 19, thanks, Grace. What's up, Jay and the Holy Spirit? Rita? Yeah, yeesh. I don't know. What's up, Busby 24? And what's up, Tracy? Showing love out there. I was thinking about going. I was actually getting ready to go for a little drive earlier to go to a certain spot, and all of a sudden I was having some mechanical issues there with the vehicle, so I had to do that, bump the show back, and then I'm like, well, shoot, I didn't even get to go. But it's only 9:30. It's a beautiful night. We could always go on the road if y'all want, but we got some stuff to get into. What's up, Mary Joey? I apologize, you guys. What's up, Cosmo? StreamYard is just going nuts, so I apologize if I miss anything. What the hell is that? What's up, Detective? Is that a freaking coyote? I hope not. Is it going to highlight it? Come on, StreamYard. There we go. What's up, Barbara? Thank you for all the support out there. What's up, Charlie? Justice for Michael. Let me share this here. through some of those hellos. Thank you. So hello to them. We used to have Baptismo. Before we had Nightbot, we had Baptismo, and it was so hilarious because everybody would say hello to Baptismo. They all thought, they were all like, damn, Baptismo puts in the work. Oh, it was great. I loved it. Baptismo was its own, individual. But Nightbot's just a little boring. Baptismo would have some cool icon photos and stuff. The weather's bad there. Oh, thank you, William. Appreciate that. So much. Thank you. It's a road to SOC Rebel. Shout out to JLR and Magnolia. What a great episode, you guys. Anybody that typed in one that was watching their show before, what an episode. What an episode. Especially that phone call, you guys. That phone call was like, damn, you go. Ticket 29, thank you. You see all the tickets being spread throughout the true crime community anymore, you guys. Isn't it beautiful? Like some of the creators don't even know what the ticket is. The ticket spread, it just came up from, what was it? How did it even come about, community? Because there was something, and I was like, yeah, let's just call the ticket number. Because really, it's like you go to the DMV and you pull the little ticket out of the thing and then they call your number, right? That was the whole, it's like, yeah, you go to the DMV, pull that ticket out, and they say, ticket 31. Ticket 31. They're here to serve you, right? It's just like, how did we even come about that? Somebody said ticket, and we just made it a thing. What's up, Vivian? Thank you so much. A lot of work earlier today. By the way, me and Rosie were having a discussion earlier, and I was talking to her, and I said, when we do this, I was already having to do work this morning, and we've had to do work the last couple of days in daytime, which we should, right? Because it is about them. But we were talking, and I was like, you know what? I would feel bad if we do this multi-series deep dive, and you have like we're trying to hear stuff, and you hear cars and crickets and inside chatter and things like that. Why don't we just wait until I get back to the studio? I'll be back to the studio in a couple days. And we'll just knock it out all week. We'll just hit it up. We'll hit it heavy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 5 days. That way it's the studio. Audio is top notch. It's clarity. And then that way it'll be the most beneficial. Also, because we are going to be like deep diving, and you are talking about audio and things like that. And I don't want certain sounds to create a sound in a sound clip that's not meant to be there. So I can sit here and I can mute the whole time like I did just there, but you're still, anytime I do talk, it's going to be, you know what I'm saying? So that's what we're going to do. I got a lot more work to do actually tomorrow and Friday. And then Saturday, we're going to be getting prepped for the protest coming up on Sunday. We'll be going to the protest on Sunday. We'll be going to the protest on Saturday, too. We'll definitely need your positive energy because we're going to get into another episode here on Friday talking about a specific county. Okay. So definitely need your positive energy. What's up, Eric? How you doing? So definitely need your positive energy. Trust me, you'll see what I mean. If you were in one of the shows where I talked about the conversations that I was having out there with locals, when I went out there last, you're gonna if you see this video. Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm just trying to help there not be another. That's why we do the stuff. Even like go forward, it's discussing a person I honestly don't think committed the crime. So to promote innocent until proven guilty, because if anybody that any of our community, when you're in these Idaho 4 shows, you know what's up. Sorry if the audio's kind of going crazy. StreamYard is being jumped right now. What's up? She's a wildflower ticket 50. Appreciate you. I sound like I am in a what? I don't, it's StreamYard. It's StreamYard in a hole. Oh, hold on. This happens every time. There we go. That probably sounds a hell of a lot better, right? It happens every time with StreamYard. It's going crazy. It reset it was using my webcam microphone instead of this right here. StreamYard, yo. Like I said, I apologize in advance if there's any issues with the program tonight, or if I miss any messages, or if there's any audio issues. I apologize. I don't know what's going on. I know other creators were having issues with it yesterday and the day before as well, so I do apologize. What's up, baby girl? Rosie, it's actually, I think, 3 in the morning for Rosie. Rosie's sleeping. It's just me tonight. Sorry. What's up? Thank you, Grace. Appreciate that. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, appreciate that. What a phone call, right, guys? What a phone call. What's up, Tiffany? What's up, John Morgan? How you doing? Valerie, protest needs a drum. It was really cool. Shout out to Little Man. Uh, Little Man had like a toy bullhorn that actually worked, and that thing was crazy. I went up to his mom. I was like, "Where did you get that thing? I want one, right? I want one of those things. Those are cool. Little teeny thing, man. It wasn't one of those big VHB ones. You know what I'm saying? We don't need all that, but it was like a little miniature one that would be compact. It would be ideal for my situation, for my gear, right? Nice and right in there, right in the bag. Not a problem, you know? I was like, "Where did you get that thing?" And she was like, "Oh, I don't know. It was at some, toy store or whatever." She's like, "I can't believe he got it, but that's what he wanted." And I said, "No, it was crazy." I said, "I'm standing over here with all of you guys, and we're right here on the sidewalk." And then I said, "Little man back there was all the way back in that corner screaming justice for Mike." And I was like, that was pretty loud. That was pretty good. I was like, shout out. Shout out. I said, that thing's awesome. I want one of them things for sure. It was so Did you guys hear it in the background? I couldn't tell if you guys could or not, but it was so he was on the other side of the street by where, the car was at, and, he was just walking up and down there saying it too. Shout out to him. Yeah, sorry about the audio. What's up, Pam? A toy drum. Yeah, did you guys hear him in the background? It was hilarious. It was cool though. I was like, wow, it worked pretty good. All right, here's this. We're gonna share this, and I'm gonna have to cut off a link because it's just way too long for YouTube to fit. Let me know if this link works, okay? It's the petition. Let me know if that link works, please. And I'll keep promoting that one. The other one it doesn't fit in YouTube text unless you're on Twitch. Then it fits, but on YouTube for some reason, no, doesn't allow it. All right, we're gonna put this out there as well. JusticeForMicah.com. It works on Chrome. Thank you, Charlie. I hope it does. Because I don't know why their links are so long. I wish they weren't that long. But also, if you want to, you can scan the QR code. So I'll leave that right there too. If you want to take a screenshot, you can scan the QR code if you're not able to click on the link. Now we're going to watch a clip, right? And this has to do with the date that's on the thumbnail. It works on Safari. Sweet, appreciate it. We're gonna watch this little clip first, and it's an article I'm gonna share with you guys, and just look at the date. All right. Posted May 6th, 2024. A Myrtle Beach woman found passed away last week in Robeson County had a tracking device. See what it says? That was discovered at a dealership. Her car. So it says his truck. What you talking about, Willis? Right? Holy shit. Let me see here. Here, let me zoom it up for you. Myrtle Beach woman was found passed away last week in Robeson County. Had a tracking device placed on her car that was discovered after she took it to a dealership to repair a tire that had been slashed. Micah Miller, 30, made 2 complaints on March 11th. The first coming after her vehicle's tire was found slashed near Springmaid Pier. The report said the second complaint, filed hours later, came after Miller took her vehicle to East Coast Honda on Highway 17 bypass to have the tire repaired. The police reports indicate that the suspect in both incidents was a male. Miller's husband, John Paul Miller, was the senior pastor is the senior of Solid Rock Church in Market Common. An email was sent to church members on Sunday, said Miller was released from ministerial duties. The church's website is currently suspended. It's been suspended for a long time, and he was supposed to be relieved of his duties, but you know how it is. Anytime that he's supposed to not preach, he preaches. How many times is it supposed to happen? And then it gets into the story, but we're going to play this video real quick too.
Has been digging into the death of this Myrtle Beach woman who has ties to a church in the Market Common. A little over a week ago, Micah Miller's body was found more than 70 miles from Myrtle Beach in Lumber River State Park in Robeson County. Thanks, I'm Trish Williford. Robeson County Sheriff's investigators and other agencies had little to say about the 30-year-old's death until today. News 13's Gracie Fusco joins us live tonight in the newsroom. And Gracie, you and our team found some new developments in this case and information on Miller's last weeks alive.
Trish, that's right. Miller had ties to the Solid Rock located in the Market Common. She was married to the pastor of the church, John Paul Miller. Today, News 13 looked into her past and an incident involving local police. The sudden death of Micah Miller has raised many questions. I spoke with a close friend and church member who wanted to remain anonymous, who said when Micah's death was announced, something didn't sit right.
I was in shock, disappointment. I was disgusted with the way that he decided to put Micah as an afterthought. I think that's all she deserved was 1 minute of, oh yeah, by the way, my wife passed away.
Micah's body was found on April 27th at Lumber State Park. The sudden death of Micah Miller has raised many questions. I spoke with a close friend and church member who wanted to remain anonymous, who said when Micah's death was announced, something didn't sit right.
I was in shock, disappointment. I was disgusted with the way that he decided to put Micah as an afterthought. I think that's all she deserved was 1 minute of, oh yeah, by the way, my wife passed away.
Micah's body was found on April 27th at Lumber State Park. An official cause of death has yet to be released.
I want her name to be cleared. I want all the lies that were told about her to be cleared. And I want justice for her. I want the truth to come out. I want people to come forth and speak about what an awful man that he was so that she can get justice, not only to her name, but for her family.
Horry County Police has told News 13 back in March, Micah filed a...
Okay. You know why they won't talk? It's like I said last night, and I've said ever since I've been out there and these people come up and talk to me. They don't even want to have their voice recorded because they know they'll get found out. And these people, when you hear of the tactics that are being used against these people, they don't have the energy for that. There's so many people that know something. And you know what? Listen, you guys, if they're coming to talk to me, if they're coming up to me on the street and they're saying, hey, I want to talk to you, but I don't want to be recorded. And I say, okay. And I'll leave my microphone and I'll show them. I put my microphone on my tripod and I walk over there. That way you guys can still hear, but I go to them so they know that they're safe and they can tell me what they want to tell me. They want to give me the knowledge so I can try and help in any way that I can. They're replaying their life experiences through words to me, and then what I'm doing is taking those words and putting myself in the same spot and then understanding their emotion and their fear, their questions. And when you know that they're coming to talk to me, you know that they're already talking to somebody that's right? Because you know they already went to go talk to before they even came up to me. I mean, it's obvious. So you know that there's a lot when you're talking that many people, when you're talking 700 to 800 people dropping to 50 and lickety split, y'all, there's a lot of people that know a lot of shit. And when there's a lot of people that know a lot of stuff, and they know a lot of stuff because everybody chit chats. Everybody's talking about this and that, and you know. And you also know when something, listen, what's the one thing everybody's gonna go when there's something that's not godly going on in the church? When you know that something that isn't godly, because the majority of these people are really truly going and they're God-fearing people, and you know it don't matter where they're at, if they're going, this don't make sense, why is this happening, that's not very godly, then it becomes, hey, do you think this is godly or not? And then all of a sudden it goes to the next person. Well, guess what? I don't know. I don't think this is. Come on, that many people. How do you think it went from 700-800 people to 50 in lickety split? Because of the. There's a lot of people that know a lot of stuff. See, the crazy thing is the last time that this happened, you know, like look at, like, even JP admits himself. Even JP admits himself that Papa's the one. Papa wasn't around very much, but Papa got us out of everything, right? Papa wasn't around much, but he was around to get us out of trouble. Then Mr. CR comes around. Mr. Bishop comes around and helps Daddy out, and then all of a sudden is probably into the same stuff Daddy got into, but Mr. CR didn't get caught doing it. So Mr. Wayne was like, you know what, it's cool, man. I got caught. You know what? He's got him in the back pocket the rest of his life. You know what? You better take care of my boy, CR. Otherwise, you know what happens, right? Okay, Wayne. Look at how it all goes, people. Look at how much CR has helped in every facet of what we've been talking about this whole time since we talked about Micah's case. Think about it. Look at all the different pots his hand is in. Look at how much influence he has. Look at how much control he has. Y'all, you guys remember George Bush and Dick Cheney? If you're old enough, you might know George Bush and Dick Cheney. The whole funny saying was that Dick Cheney ran the presidency. George Bush just went, uh-huh, okay. I'm wondering if it's the same situation. Is CR Dick Cheney? Is that what he is? Pulling those strings? It makes you wonder. Look at all the influence, you guys. Look at everything that he is involved in. Now, when you go from 700 to 800 people to 50, you know damn well there's a lot of people calling that hotline saying, yep, 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 because they want his ass slammed. Because even if they didn't get hurt themselves, their friends might have got hurt. And if you watch that video that I put out about why people still go there, in my opinion, it's because of one of those reasons right there. Because they're just too tied into it. They can't help. Right? Nana, There was some people that I've never seen there before, and if you remember, that guy's one of them. I don't remember seeing him before. And if you remember, Nana, do you remember the older guy and the younger guy, and he had on, like, those beach sunglasses? And they walked by us up in front and then came around and went to the front. Those were people I've never seen before either. I wonder, like, uh, we've heard people say that, we've heard people s Alright, we'll get to the rest of this here real quick.
Police report where
But people gotta talk. I mean, as much as as much as people are scared, people gotta talk too, because it starts with your voice as well. We can try and push as much energy as we can, but eventually somebody's gotta come out. Somebody's gotta talk. Somebody's gotta be comfortable to say, "You know what? I know they're afraid, Tracy. Trust me, I know. I hear their stories. I hear their stories. I hear their stories." And I can tell, like, when I'm sitting there and they're, like, making sure, like, I have my mic, I can see that I can see it in their eyes. I can hear it in their throat. They're talking to me, and you can hear, like, the uncomfortable swallow when you're talking, right? You know what I mean. You know what I mean. That uncomfortable, like, swallow that people do when they're uncomfortable. I hear it. But that's what I'm saying. You know what? There's gotta be one person that says, "You know what? I'm gonna take on whatever BS is gonna be coming." And then I guarantee you, when one person comes out, there's gonna be a whole bunch of other people that come out to help when it comes to, these stories about what they experienced or even what they have proof of. Because, that's a lot of people. And there's gonna be proof. It's a lot of people. 7 to 800 down to 50. Come on. They all knew something. I guarantee 75% knew something, and 25% of them were just seeing, like, wow, this is crazy. But there's a lot of people that talk. A lot of people that talk. What's up, Bougie?
it was discovered Micah had a tracking device placed on her car. That was discovered after she took it to the dealership to repair a tire that had been slashed. Along with that, News 13 has just learned her husband and pastor of Solid Rock Church, John Paul Miller, has been released from the church. According to the police reports, she was leaving Springmaid Pier and noticed that a piece of metal was protruding from her tire and said, quote, "This is the second time a razor has deflated her tire in the last week."
Now, remember what Magnolia was saying in the show? You remember what Magnolia was saying? Magnolia was saying, and JLR, shout out both. They were talking about how Micah, we've all heard about the PIs, right? The PI probably wasn't just to call JP if she went to a gun store. Come on now. They call it a fatal attraction because it's the fatal attraction that says, if I can't have you, then ain't nobody gonna have you. That's called a fatal attraction, because when you're out there cheating on your damn wife and you're worried about her kissing some other dude when you were already getting divorced, it just has to take time. Because in South Carolina, certain things have to be like it's a time period and all this other crazy shit. You have to be separated for a year. You can legally get divorced because they want to make sure that you're not prego. Shit is that? The only way that you can get divorced right away is to prove infidelity. To prove it. Not that you just know that it happens, but you have to have literal proof, and then you have to take it to a court and show it. And then you see what the courts do when it comes to women here. Let's think about it. Why do you think she filed so many reports and nothing happened? Come on, you guys. So when it comes to the razor, second time a razor has deflated her tire, and you know, where was she at, you guys? Where was she at? And what was she doing? Spending time with somebody that gave a shit about her? JP, if you weren't out cheating on your wife to the point where she was fed up enough with your shit where she was filing a divorce, then what the hell is the problem if she's on the beach with another dude, bro? If you didn't want her, well then you wouldn't have did what you did, and if you did want her, well then maybe you would have spent time with her and not the side chick. Don't, like, there's a certain way that it works, bro. I mean, you talk about it all the time. You read the words in the book that you read from. It talks a whole lot about it. I don't understand how there can be any confusion when it comes to how to treat your wife. I mean, you can recite it from memory, right? You know it that good. Oh, wait, you have to tattoo your sins on your hand. That's how you remind yourself of your sins. You have to look at your hand and go, oh yeah, I did that, I forgot. Really? Oh shit, I did that too. Oh man, I totally forgot about that until I looked at that tattoo on my arm. You really need to get a tattoo to remind yourself of this. Thug life. Thug life. Sorry if StreamYard's being buggy, you guys. So it makes you wonder, is this what somebody got so mad and was so immature that they had to go flatten her tire because she was out there on the beach hanging out and came back in and her car tire's flat, so it tries to ruin whatever was being planned afterwards, because now you got to change the tire, and then after that you're just gonna go home probably because it's like, oh yeah. Baby fits, doesn't it remind you of baby fits? Baby fits all over.
Protruding from her tire and said, quote, "This is the second time a razor has deflated her tire in the last week." The second incident in that police report came just hours after, when Micah headed to a gas station before going to a local Honda dealership. While she was getting fuel, the police report says the reported suspect showed up next to her, where she asked the suspect to leave.
So this is, remember what, here's the gas station. See where she was parked off to the side, wasn't there, right? So when he was recording her, remember he showed that video in his latest video, which, by the way, you guys, I'm almost convinced True Crime Re is JP. We were saying it last night. I'm feeling it. It just seems too suspicious. You're having your own live Q&A on somebody else's channel, but you're the one that is highlighting it and talk. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. And really, it's like, you got to think, right, Katrina? It's like this, you guys. Any guy out there knows. Now, a lot of y'all might fall for it, but come on, let's be real. You get that friend request, right? You get that friend request that has a provocative picture or whatever, and it's got like 2 pictures that were just loaded from 3 weeks ago. It's like some guys are like, "Hey baby, what's up?" You know, like, come on, man. Like, come on. It's like that, right? It's like that. It's almost like one of those profiles that's like, "Hey, but hey, yeah, she has no ulterior motive." Okay, JP. We don't either. No. Like a friend. It's a freak. Listen, it's like somebody brought up the other day, Tiffany. Why wouldn't she be posting stuff for Micah too? Think about it. It's JP. You don't understand what I'm saying. It's below the surface. It's JP. It's a fake fucking account through JP. Yeah, it might be a real person. It's JP. In your research, did you see them post anything about Micah? Did you see them post anything about the family? How about this? How long ago was the account created? I did my research. How long ago was the account created? Think about it. Question answered. Question answered. Because you know what I'm saying. You know how long, you know how recent that account was created. You know that they're not posting anything for the family. You know they're not posting anything for Micah. It's just all JP. Hey, make this account for me. I'll give you some money so you can post it on your page. Look at what they're doing right now. They're paying people to go dig up dirt on people. You saw that, right? You don't think they're going to pay True Crime Re to post some JP videos because he doesn't want to be questioned, because he already contradicts himself? He already contradicts himself. Hell, the last video we said, "Oh, I lied about Antarctica. I lied about Antarctica." He even said himself in his last video, he lied about Antarctica. And he knows what's going to happen. He knows if he talks to somebody, he's going to slip. Because he's already slipping on the 1.5-minute clips. You know. That's why True Crime Re, no ulterior motives. Bullshit, dude. We don't have ulterior motives either. We're all about having conversation. What's up with Antarctica? He was saying that. Here, I'll show you guys. Hold on. I'll show you. Right here.
We're going to answer a question from Miss Kelly, C19. That is C19. And
let me show the tats off. And why are you doing C19? What's the significance of C19? Oh, hold on a minute. Oh, hold on a minute. Does that mean that Miss Kelly C19 is probably one of your people that are getting $100 to put that question up there? So then you can go C19 and then you can answer the question to promote. Like, come on, man. You don't think he's paying these people? RC in advance. Thug life, baby. You don't think that he's not paying True Crime Re? You don't think he paid Miss Kelly C19? You know he did. Here's 100 here. Here's a 200 here. Here's 300 here. Hey, let me post this video. Here's 500. You know this. I would guess it's more the $100, $200 range. You know what I mean? Because he's got to keep it cheap, but he's got to keep it enticing too. So he's got to do like 100 to 200, maybe 250. And then look at this little venture now that's being put out about, we'll give you $350 for this, and then we'll give you another 10% based on how much we collect. And then do you think they're going to get their money? Hey, we'll write the check in the mail. You'll get it on Tuesday. Tuesday will come. That check ain't there. You'll be calling them on Wednesday. Yeah, I didn't get the check on Tuesday. Dude, what the hell? You know this. That's what they practice, and he's been practicing it since he was a kid and since his daddy. You saw what his daddy got busted for. He got busted for making people frickin' work and not get paid for it. And then when you did start paying him for it, you paid him shit money. You think come on. You know. He's got to keep that shit cheap. He's got to keep it cheap. He's got a new girlfriend, you know? All right, back to this. Oh, wait, hold on, though. Hold on.
We're going to answer a question from Miss Kelly C19. That is
My bad, Joe.
C19. And she asked how me and True Crime Re got connected. And so this is an unusual story. I've had people call from all over the world, Australia, England, California, Antarctica. That was a lie. Nobody's.
See, he just said that's a lie. Nobody's called me from Antarctica. This is what I'm saying, you guys. He fucking rambles. That's why he's not going. That's why he doesn't want to be friends with me. That's why he doesn't want to go talk to anybody else. Because look, he will tell on himself.
I've had people call from all over.
I was trying to bring this up. I don't think anybody caught on.
So this is an unusual story. I've had people call from all over the world, Australia, England, California, Antarctica. That was a lie. Nobody.
See what I'm saying? That was a lie. Nobody likes me from Antarctica.
It's called from Antarctica. Nobody cares about me at all in Antarctica.
He's rambling. You see what I'm saying? Now, look, this is what you have to... Okay. So, when it comes to these kind of people, right? This is what I'm trying to say. Right, Tiffany? Right, but look. But this is... Okay. So, this is him. Just give me a few minutes here. This is him creating bullshit, right? This is him creating bullshit. Now he's trying to create funny bullshit. You still create bullshit the same way, right? Whether it's funny or whether it's you trying to continue a narrative, right? You create bullshit the same way, no? Follow me. You create bullshit the same way. So if this is what you're doing when you're creating bullshit, because this is the equation, when you're creating what you just said, this is the same equation when you're creating a narrative, and that's what I'm saying. If he talks, he's going to create the same
bullshit when it comes to his alibi, backup, whatever he wants to, when it comes to whatever date he's talking about. There's still going to be little bloops that pop out here and there. So when you hear him create some funny bullshit and he goes, huh, Antarctica, that was a lie, you know damn well he's going to slip up just as much when he's talking about something serious. And that's why I was saying it's important that, I understand that major media platforms might not want to talk to him, but I'm telling you right now, the more someone talks, the more the truth comes out. The more someone talks, the more the truth comes out. Now, is this the truth that Micah really did put trackers on his truck and all this other stuff? You gotta sit down, JP, and sit there and do those minute and 30 clips, man. You have to sit down, have somebody ask real freaking questions so they can hear your words and what you say and the meaning behind them. That's the only way people are going to believe this stuff. They're not going to believe this minute and a half TikTok shit that you pay $200 for to upload a video. And they're like, cool. Let's go to the casino, Jimmy. All right, let's go. He will tell on himself. Bullshit's made the same way, whether it's funny or ugly.
We're going to answer a question from Miss Kelly C19. That is C19. And she asked how me and True Crime Re got connected. And so this is an unusual story. I've had people call from all over the world, Australia.
I don't know, Yoli. I'm just saying. Probably.
England, California, Antarctica. That was a lie. Nobody's called from Antarctica. Nobody cares about me at all in Antarctica. Anyway, and so all these other people are calling, and they're all asking me like information and just not very nice, and their motives. They want me to go on their shows and their TV shows and all these kind of things. And True Crime Re called me, and
see, she called him. How'd she get your number? Come on, y'all. True Crime Re called him. What else does True Crime Re post? If it's about Micah and it's about both sides and it's about all theories, thoughts, and opinions, come on now. Go look at the posts.
She had no ulterior motives whatsoever. She just was asking how I was doing.
Of course
she didn't know who I was. She didn't want me to give her any kind of information. She just started just being very kind to me. And through that, I found out that she was a talk person. And at one point I told her, I said, to help me.
A talk person. A talk person. Who knows? Maybe she's getting like $1,000 for each upload. Who knows? It might be more. Maybe, think about it. Maybe she'll be his next girlfriend while he cheats on Susie. Right? When he gets married to Susie and then he starts cheating on Susie. Starts cheating on Susie before they even get married. I mean, it's hello. It's been a repetitive process, has it not? I get married and I cheat. I get married and I cheat, and I'm really going to get married and cheat, right? I mean, hello. Maybe it's Who knows? I'm gonna. Who knows? Who knows how much she's getting for them videos? Who knows? Makes you wonder, though, don't it?
I think it's time for me to start sharing a little bit. And I got one of my lawyers to approve me sharing little bits and pieces. And she said to me, and here's how much integrity she had. She said to me, there's platforms that are a lot bigger that would love to hear your story. And I said, I really appreciate that. My goal isn't for everybody to hear my story. My goal is just to kind of get the word out a little bit to make me feel better. I said, I need to heal, and I have all this stuff inside of me, and I have nobody to really share it with. And it's full. I know it's truth. I have proof behind it. I said, I don't care if 1 million people hear it or 1,000 people hear it. I just want to talk about it. And so she agreed that she'd put it on her platform that she has. If I send her the videos. And so that's kind of what we've been doing. And it doesn't matter to me if everybody hears it and believes it. It doesn't matter if they hear it and they like me. It doesn't matter if everyone hears it or nobody hears it. It just kind of makes me feel good to know that True Crime rehears it. and I promise I'll be truthful with you. And so that's what we do.
So that's what we do. Something went weird with StreamYard. Whoa, now it's actually going back to what the heck? Something crazy with it. All right, give me 1 second. Why is it doing that? Let me get into the folder here. Why does it put me at the bottom when I was scrolled all the way up at this part? All right, here we go. I wanted to share this. This is from Micah's father. This is from TikTok. I wanted to share this. Here's a link to it. I do have to mute it, though. Oh, it's not showing. There we go. The link, I just have to mute it. Man, these links are so long. Post this. This is a lot shorter. Oh, that's weird. Why is that? There we go. All right. Let's see. Yes, this is something I wanted to share as well. This is something that the family wants to stress, right? If there's a lot of people out there that are claiming to be working with the family. Nobody working with the family. There's a lot of people claiming to be working with the family. The family and their legal representation are the only people speaking on behalf of the family. Right here. Our only spokesperson at this time is Regina Ward. If you are not a family member, you are not a spokesperson. Just understand you continue for the cause with that care. So share that real quick. Okay. This one. Okay. Okay, so this must be her recording. Let's see.
Somber, heart-wrenching day for friends and family of Micah Miller.
Oh, the music.
It's 3 o'clock Eastern time, and they're having a memorial service for her on the beach. And apparently they're having a service for her as well at the church. There were protests. I think they're still going on outside.
Oh, I thought that. Hold on. I thought this was.
And there was
my bad. I thought it was the video that Micah was taking at JP with the picture there. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, yeah, this came out from News Nation today.
Documents and audio recordings potentially shedding new light on Micah Miller's final days before investigators say that the South Carolina woman took her own life. While investigators ruled the 30-year-old's death in April a suicide, her family insists there is more to this story, and they are pushing state police and the FBI to take over and examine her death as a homicide. News Nation investigative correspondent Rich McHugh is live with more on this. So, Rich, what is in these new files?
Hi, Nicole. So Pastor John Paul Miller has been posting near daily videos to TikTok saying he's looking forward to presenting some 350 pieces of evidence that he wants to share with the public that will point to who is really behind Micah's death and that will disprove all the lies in the media. In the meantime, News Nation has obtained this video through a Freedom of Information Act that has become evidence as a part of legal proceedings that John Paul Miller's ex-wife, Allison Williams, has brought against him. Williams is fighting for emergency custody of her 2 children. In the video filmed months ago, John Paul Miller admits to suicidal ideations, use of lithium. He says he has demons and mental health issues. Take a look.
That I'm supernatural. And so I'm telling you this so that you can be encouraged that God can use you. So for the past 4 weeks, I've had the most horrible battle and horrible time of my entire life. I've never, ever, 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 not even close, been through what I'm going through right now in life. Not even close. Horrible. I mean, horrible, so bad. I'm seeing this every week. I'm on 900 milligrams of lithium. I'm seeing a counselor every week. I'm going to inner healing. I'm going to deliverance 3 times again just to be able to get out of bed. I'm so depressed. I want to die. I'm battling suicidal. I have unforgiveness, hatred, demons coming out of me. Horrible. I'm in such a bad place. I spent my Friday night at Kelly's house with women over 50 years old watching them play bunco.
Now, News Nation has also obtained a voicemail, evidence included in that same custody battle from Micah Miller to Allison Williams, John Paul Miller's first wife, asking for help. Take a listen.
Hey, it's Micah. This is my new number. Please don't give it to anybody, but I just wanted to see who your counselor was to help you. I don't want to lose myself in this, and I don't want to pursue anything out of anger, vengeance, or anything like that. I just want to be free and have peace and keep my soul right. So, if you just text me a name, even I'm a good counselor, I greatly appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.
The video and the voicemail Williams is using as evidence in her case for the protection of her children, and they certainly add context to what was going on behind the scenes with both Pastor John Paul Miller and Micah Miller in the months leading up to her death, Nicole.
Yeah, it's really hard to hear that last sound there, Rich. So we know her family is pushing for more to be done. What do we know about this investigation into Miller's death, potentially by the FBI?
Well, Robeson County Sheriff has ruled it a suicide, but they did reach out to the FBI, and the FBI has confirmed that they were brought in. They didn't say in what capacity, but several sources have told us that the questioning from the FBI is looking at a certain statute about harassment across state lines. So if they can prove that harassment led to a death across state lines, then it's potentially chargeable. We don't know for sure. The FBI won't tell us that exactly, though, Nicole.
All right. Yeah, I know you will continue to keep an eye on this. All right. Rich McHugh, thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.
900 milligrams. He said it right there. I don't know what's going on, you guys. So I apologize if my computer I just drop out. I'm plugged in to the wall, but for some reason my computer is about to die. So I don't understand what the problem is. I'm not sure. So I'm just going to keep going, I suppose, and we'll see. Here, let me play something in the meantime. I'm going to see if I can figure out why I can't get any power. I didn't even know my computer the battery was going out until I just heard the little beep. I'm like, what? Oh, shoot. What? Give me 1 second. Let me play this conversation that Magnolia was having. Because it was pretty crazy. Give me 1 second. And then I'm going to figure out... I'll drop the link to the video. I'm going to figure out what's going on with the power here. We got a lot more to get into. All right, hold on. Hopefully I can get it figured out before. All right, so we're going to go to this episode. Here's the link. I apologize. I'm going to figure it out. It's probably a light switch or something that has to turn it on or something. I just need to try and figure it out first here. All right, so we're going to go here. Listen to this conversation that Magnolia was having. It was really, really interesting about March 11th.
And then I'm going to show you some documents and things like that. So we're calling Magnolia up right now. And we're going to talk about this 11th because she's really tied in on this 11th and what transpired on the day. And about this, you know, she's with a younger guy. She is, but she's with somebody that she finally felt connected with and be able to trust and talk to about what was going on in her life. Magnolia.
Yeah.
Welcome aboard. JLR Investigates. Thanks for coming on. Can you explain a little bit about this 11th date?
Which part?
All of it, if you can.
Well, that's the day that Micah Miller filed multiple police reports because John Paul following her all over town, and she found razors in her tires. So she was actually in the process of trying to get a restraining order, which if a lot of people don't know this, to get a restraining order, I'm sure it's different in other states, but at least in South Carolina, you have to have 3 police reports. So she already had one prior, and she ended up submitting 2 separate police reports that day. One was at 1:20 a.m., so the very early morning hours, where she called. She had found razors in her tires when she was at the Springmaid Pier. So that was the first incident. And then later that day in the morning, 11:45 or so, was when she called again. Now this is the day, we've all seen this and we've reported on this pretty extensively, but this is the day when Micah was at the car dealership. She was trying to deal with her tire going flat. They found the razors in the tire. And JP, that's the infamous clip where he says, you'll see the photo on Facebook in a few hours. And Micah runs to him and says, well, you'll be in jail in a few hours. So all of those events that we've covered, all that happened all in the same day. So he followed her to the magistrate's office while she was going to turn in her police report, try to get the restraining order. So it was later that night, JP had a PI following her, and the PI took her to the beach where she was seen and photographed, I believe videoed possibly, but at least photographs of her kissing another. And this guy is, well, he was JP's intern, and JP was kind of teaching him like how to preach and different things like that. So he was working under JP, and I guess had become friends with him. And this was March 11th, so she had been gone. She had left JP in February, and this is a period of time where she was kind of really trying to get away from him, trying to move on with her new life. She was attending a different church. She was spending time with close friends, and she had a very close circle of people that were there for her. And so this guy was an intern at the church. She was seen kissing him. This is not a rumor. This is true. Now, what JP did, he took that incident and he started texting everybody
all over the place.
Yeah, he was texting Micah's friends, texting people in the church, like going around telling everyone Micah's having an affair with a teenager. And he was saying teenager because I guess the guy was around 19, but I'm told that he's actually 20. And Micah was 29. So ironically, she's a lot closer in age to him than she was to JP, but I digress on that point.
Oh, anyway, interesting. Yeah, because somebody said in the chat, JP's 41. So,
no, and I want to correct you on that. JP is not 41. JP is 45 years old.
Oh.
He was born May 20th, 1979. He was 44 years old at the time of Micah's death. He just turned 45. So he's 45. Micah just turned 30. So JP Miller is 15 years older than Micah.
She's good, right? So, Magnolia corrected me on somebody said 41 in the chat, and I responded, 41. You know the actual birth date and everything.
Awesome.
No, he's almost exactly. He's exactly 15 years older than her. So, and you got to remember, Micah just turned 32 and 30 years old. She just turned 30 in March, I guess. So she was 29 leading up to this, and the guy she's supposedly having an affair with is like 20. So they're really not that far off in age, especially not compared to her and JP. But it's just another way that he's twisting the narrative, So he's going around telling anyone, well, listen, Micah's having an affair with a teenager and, trying to make her sound bad.
Right. Filing for spousal support when he's the frickin' preacher. He's filing for spousal support. It's a joke.
I know that.
And how do you think? Because you got to prove infidelity, right? And then he looks like the one that was being hurt. Prove infidelity on her, and then it looks like she cheated on me, everybody. Poor me.
That people in the chat have heard that rumor because we've heard rumor ourselves. And so the other day when JP said everyone needs to pay attention to March 11th and the cyber sleuths need to remember that date. Well, someone texted me after that and they said, I know what happened on March 11th because the guy that Micah was seeing is one of her close friends. So she knew the whole story. So she told me what happened. And they did share a kiss on the beach, but the relationship didn't progress past that point because Micah felt she was still married and she felt bad about it. So it's not some full-blown scandalous affair like JP's saying. And also, by the way, the younger guy also felt a lot of guilt about it. And JP ended up banning that guy from the church and told him he could never come back. So now,
no, well, the reason why, because we feel we feel JP's going to use that time and that moment to try to discredit Micah to the full capacity, right? He's going to.
Yes, because remember this timing, the March 11th date. I mean, Micah, by then, Micah was already aware of a lot of things going on with JP, and she was already kind of trying to put pieces together herself. And so he knows that it's over. You know, he has to know by now it's over. And he is trying to use this, I guess, to file on grounds, because in South Carolina is actually an at-fault state for divorce. So
yeah, listen to this, you guys.
Grounds, including infidelity.
Adultery, right? Adultery.
Right.
I thought I saw the word adultery, right?
Well,
same
yes,
thing.
Adultery, infidelity, same thing. So you can file for divorce. There's like certain grounds. One of them is, adultery, habitual use of drugs or alcohol, physical violence, or desertion, which is abandonment. So those are the grounds you can file on. So JP.
And what do you think happened? Listen, when she said that he was forcing her to take substances, and when he tricked her into getting her into the mental health facility, what do you think they did, people? They drug tested her. What probably showed up? The drugs that he was making her take. He probably made her take them, not only for his sick, twisted games, but also so it would show up dirty when she goes there, so it looks like she's a habitual user as well, right? She's a cheater and a user, Judge. She's a cheater and a user, congregation.
Because remember this timing, the March 11th date. I mean, Micah, by then, Micah was already aware of a lot of things going on with JP, and she was already kind of trying to put pieces together herself. And so he knows that it's over. You know, he has to know by now it's over. And he is trying to use this, I guess, to file on grounds, because in South Carolina is actually an at-fault state for divorce. So, and you can file on grounds, including infidelity.
Adultery, right? Adultery. I thought I saw the word adultery, right?
Well,
same
yes,
thing.
Adultery, infidelity, same thing. So you can file for divorce. There's like certain grounds. One of them is, adultery, habitual use of drugs or alcohol.
2 out of 4 ain't bad, is it?
Physical violence, or desertion, which is abandonment. So those are the grounds you can file on. So JP clearly seemed hopeful that he would be able to file on grounds of adultery, and therefore he would get out of, paying alimony and whatever else. So, and that Sunday after this happened, he actually went on stage at the church and he did a sermon, and he actually told the story of finding out that Micah was having an affair, only he framed it as if it was another friend of his. But he kind of like tells the story,
right,
and he sort of reveals his...
Right. Put different names to it, so, put different names to it. Just like when he's calling out Susie in the congregation, but he uses Sally. I told Sally that's not Jesus's way. And I'm still waiting for Sally, right? But Susie's like, oh my gosh, he's talking about me. He's just saying Sally.
Motives of seeking proof of adultery in his little speech that he gave.
Yeah, I I have that clip, and I'm going to share that with. I'm going to share that.
Later, but yeah, so you'll be able to see out of his own mouth. He's giving his own motivations for why he's doing it. And, you know, honestly, if you're separated from your spouse, there really is only one reason that you're going to hire a PI, and that's to catch them on adultery or some other type of grounds. So that's part of why he had the PI following her.
Yeah, the PI went back and told him, had footage of it, and then he had a baby fit and went out there and popped the tires.
Because, you know, that's one reason. Now we know he was also obsessed and couldn't stop, so that's another reason. But yeah, he sort of reveals like his own motivations in the process.
Remember that, and he also revealed. Now, March 11th was the same day he went on that True Crime RI TikTok channel and released a video of Micah filming him. Was that on the 11th also?
Yes, I believe that was also the same day. So I believe that incident in particular specifically was the incident where she was standing at the magistrate's office, possibly, and driving by, and she was filming him. But I don't know if that's exactly the moment it happened, but just remember, this was going on all day.
That's what I'm saying. That it started at 1 a.m. on the 11th. So she's filed multiple police reports. She probably knows this guy is either him or a PI is following her around. Of course, she's going to bring out a camera and film whoever's filming her and following around, because she wants to document it herself. That who is this weirdo? Follow me. Who is this person?
Yes. So, yeah, right. So that's what it was. I mean, she's trying to document because, like I said, she's in the process of trying to get a restraining order, and you can't do that without 3 police reports. And for her to get video evidence of the stalking is very valuable in a police report. So she needed that evidence. So, of course, she's following him. I mean, of course, she's not following, but recording him as well. You know what I mean? So, obviously, but he's going to take this whole thing, and I already know. And someone else told me the other day, I said, do you think JP is really going to say all this, that he's going to go on TikTok and accuse her of having an affair? And I was like, that just seems like a lot to me for him to do that. That seems like really going really far to do that. And she said, no, I absolutely think he's going to.
Do you think he's going to out this 20-year-old?
That's what people are telling me.
Oh, wow.
100% he's going to out this guy and tell the story from his side.
Oh, wow.
Before he does that, now you know what really happened.
Wow.
Yeah, you hear it here first on JLR Investigate. That's that we feel like that's the next route he's going to do is just hone in on this particular day with her kissing a guy on the beach.
Yeah, kissing a guy on the beach. I mean, you already know he's trying to get dirt on everybody. He's trying to get dirt on everybody. Where's this 350 at? You know, you the last video, like 3 videos ago, you said, I got a whole bunch of stuff to get into on the family. A whole bunch. They left me a lot. Okay. What are you talking about? Now let's just, how does he think that people believe this? I don't understand. You gotta. Whoa, StreamYard's acting crazy.
And maybe even there might even be a photograph, folks. So just be prepared. There might be a photograph or video, but we're trying to explain what transpired throughout that day and what Micah was going through, all the way through, just all the way back since October, basically October, filing for divorce. And then, you know, she was involuntarily committed by JP and Randall, who almost set her up on that day of February 8th. She gets out the 10th. A couple days later, she drops the divorce. And then a week or so later, on around the 23rd of February, he files for spousal support against her. You know, she's moved on in a sense of, you know, going about her life away from him. And he's following her around, you know, putting tracking devices on her vehicle, slashing her tires. And she, you know, that she felt like she could talk to, you know, someone that would listen probably, and probably somebody that knows JP, right? Somebody that knows he, because, you know, he's part of the, she probably, you know, bided with this guy and felt comfortable talking with this guy. And JP's going to try to twist it up like, oh, she's having an affair on me. And, you know, she's with this other guy. He might even make it worse, like, you know, other allegations. But we're trying to put this out there to show you what this guy is talking about in reference to March 11th. He's sending hints that he's going to send more info.
Yeah. Well, another thing I want to point out that we're going to play this clip in a minute of his sermon from the Sunday immediately following this event. So one thing I want to point out for you to pay attention to is he says something about the pastor couldn't find her anywhere, so he had to hire people to go find her. Well, here's the amusing side note on that. When he had her involuntarily committed February 8th to the 10th, he believed they were going to keep her. He thought he had her right where he wanted her. He thought they were going to admit her to the hospital, and she would just be, so he would basically have her on ice while he ran around and tried to go find her evidence and all this other stuff he was doing.
Clean everything
So
that he
she's in
knew
the
she was
hospital.
doing.
He steals her car and her phone and everything.
He knew because you don't think she reached out to him before all that and said, you know what? I got your ass, JP. Don't be fucking around. I got your ass. You know damn well before she even went that route. You know damn well. Before she went that route, she said, I got your ass. Don't fuck around. And he, you know how arrogant he is, and he kept fucking around. And then she said, okay, I already done told your ass. Now here's what's about to happen. Here's what's about to happen, right? You know he knew. Because she warned him, I bet.
And to his horror, they actually released her after 2 days. So he was left with no way to track her because he stole her car and her phone. So he had no idea where she was. So he had to hire people to help him find her because she was hiding from him. She was going. He basically shot himself.
Remember, she had her friend's car.
By stealing her car and then couldn't find her. So he ends up resorting to having people follow her, paying PIs and all this other kind of stuff. So
which is a lot of money, right? Hire to track somebody down all day, that right?
Yeah.
In the chat, what is the point of the PI? To as much dirt as possible on her?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure other people have been in this situation, or someone who has. I personally was in a similar situation and separated from a volatile marriage, but he had a PI that was following the wife to see if she was doing drugs, to see how she was behaving around the children, to follow her and her boyfriend. And all of that was just to basically, build a case for the divorce. And so that's part of his motivation. He's building his case.
But his goal here was to get as much. I'm feeling, I don't know if you feel it, Magnolia. I'm feeling it's more about getting as much dirt as possible to do the adultery defense.
Yeah.
So she's not entitled to any money.
Yeah.
Like, because remember, she's part of this church during all these years. She sings up there. She's a part of this.
She ran that damn church, you guys. She ran the damn church. She ran the program. She came up with the new program. She assisted in so many different things. She was the one that ran the church. JP got all the glory. But then when people started to see how much she was doing for the church, you don't think he started getting jealous at the recognition that she was getting for everything that she was doing for everybody? He's exactly right. Building up everything that he can build up so she can't get a penny. In fact, he was wanting her to pay him.
She's a part of this. He devalues his home in December because, you know, he undervalues the home, gets it transferred over to the church to, you know, undercut her and to get her as less money as possible. I think at the end of the day, this wasn't about him caring about her. This was about him getting as much dirt on her to discredit her, and so she doesn't get any money. That's my feeling.
Right. And that way, well, right, because that's what that means. If you file an at-fault divorce, that means if you win that, then you're not obligated to pay alimony, which he would have been. See, people have to remember, Micah was fully dependent on JP. Her income, if he even paid her at all, came from him, from the church. So she had no income of her own the entire time they were married. JP Miller allegedly has $5.9 million in assets. Okay, so just imagine if she had gotten the divorce, how much money in alimony he would have had to pay her. Yep. It would have been a high amount, because when you look at alimony payments, what they do is they look at the ratio between how much money each person makes. So in this case, it's a 100-0 ratio. So he's going to be like completely responsible for her financial well-being, you know. So he would have had to pay her alimony. He may have had to pay, you know, the marital assets, half the money in the assets. But, you know, this is just.
It's a combination of, like, this was not only for that financially, but to label her mentally ill. I think his ultimate goal is he was fearful that she was going to blow the whistle, more or less, and share all the secrets and everything about him of what, you know, she witnessed going on at this church and with him for all those years that she was married. And he's trying to discredit her and make her life totally miserable in a sense where she's mentally ill, she commits adultery, she's not faithful, you know, and so no one would believe her if she started speaking. You think that was part of this too?
Oh yeah, that's definitely a part of it. You always, if you're the villain in a story, your number one go-to thing has to be to discredit the witness. That's number one. That's what you do. That's what abusers do. People, I won't go into too much detail, but a lot of times, you know, when people wonder why women won't come forward regarding sexual abuse, it's because they're scared that their abuser is going to trash them.
Yeah.
And that's why they won't come forward, because, you know, we've seen it when women have to go on the stand and testify. When they get cross-examined, their own past gets pulled out and raked over the coals. So it's a tactic. It's a number one tactic of any abuser. You have to discredit the witness. You just have to. If you're going to win, that's the way you have to do it. So you do all these things and you tell people things about the person that may or may not be true, just to, you know, form people's opinions of this person, so that in the event this person comes and says to you, oh, my husband did XYZ, that person will automatically say, oh, she must be off her meds again. And, that's essentially what happened back in October on the Africa trip. She actually confided in people on that trip about the abuse, some of the abuse, not all of it, but she confided in people and she told them things that was going on. And those same people convinced her that she should give her marriage another chance. So, his tactics worked. And we've heard from so many witnesses that have told us they believed him. They believed everything he said. And now, of course, they're living a nightmare because this woman tried to come to them for help and they just automatically, already told us that she won't take her meds and she has these issues, so it works. It's a tactic that works, and that's why he does it.
Well, not only that, but the rumors about her maybe turning him into the IRS or reporting him for some crimes prior, if he can label her as mentally ill and someone that commits adultery and anything like that, that would have been discrediting her on that aspect too, right?
Yes, exactly.
And he would have had a defense, if he would have got charged for anything that she was a witness to. She would have been an uncredible witness because he was documenting, getting all the stuff that she just wasn't credible.
Right, but are we just not going to talk about the fact that JP was having an affair openly with Susie Skinner the last 2 years?
Exactly.
Just look at the hypocrisy. It was the worst kept secret in Myrtle Beach for the last 2 years. People saw them all over the place together. Everybody knew he was seeing Susie Skinner this time. So what makes him think that he has the right to throw it
and I would say that him being with Susie's probably more than just a kiss.
Well, yeah, they're in a full-blown relationship, and they were ever since before Susie's husband died. We know from reports that Susie's husband told JP to leave his wife alone. And 2 weeks later, he's dead.
Speaking of Susie.
So this was going on for
exactly.
so many years.
Speaking of
Susie. And that's what we were getting into in the previous episode covering his case. That's why I think that there needs to be some attention to him as well, because I don't think there's patterns. Before he confronts JP when they were having an affair for how long? It's like Murdaugh mixed with Daybell. It really is. And Koresh.
Susie, can you share information you obtained about what's going on with JP and Susie right now?
Well, yeah, there was someone out last week that went to one of the protests, and she had found out that there was a couple girls that were there. Apparently, they followed JP pretty much every night, and they said that JP is still seeing Susie, and they're meeting up each night, and they meet at the ballpark near the church, and then they'll go either to JP's house or Susie's house. But apparently, they're still seeing each other. They're just being more discreet. Because remember, we talked about Susie got popped by the Daily Mail that day.
So when she goes to the ball,
we might have to go to the ballpark, y'all. Maybe I'll take you there tomorrow.
Ballpark? What do you mean? Like she drives? They meet at the ballpark. She drives there, gets out of her vehicle, and gets in JP's vehicle.
Huh?
Yeah, I guess.
Or he gets in hers. He leaves his truck there at the ballpark.
Yeah, so they basically just meet up at this ballpark, I guess, that's near the church, and they'll either go to his house or they'll go to her house. But yeah, so that's apparently where they meet. And so they're still seeing each other. They're just being more discreet and low key about it, which is smart. That's what they should do. And this last time, you know, now about this whole thing with JP, people, like I said, people think that he's going to come out and reveal that she had this affair with this other guy and he's going to out this guy and stuff. I still am not convinced that he's really going to do it. If he really does it, I will.
Good evening, Samantha, everybody else.
Stunned. And the reason I'm saying that is just because, you know, when he first started saying he's going to do this evidence and justice for Micah, you know, I thought that it was going to be different than what it's turned out to be, because so far all it's been is innuendo, going after her family, and doing all these things. If JP Miller really wants to get justice for Micah, you know what he would be doing? He would be using these videos every single night to honor her life.
Exactly.
To talk about all the things that she accomplished in her life. The amazingness she
Not
worked,
tear
she
her
built,
down.
her beautiful singing voice, her
Not
talent
tear
at
her
graphic
down.
design, her hard work ethic, all of these things. If you want justice for Micah Miller, that's what you should be doing. You should be celebrating her life. You shouldn't be going on TikTok every night trashing her memory
and trashing her family.
Yeah, and her family.
That he's actually doing this. And I know.
And like I've been saying, what partner stands in, forget the pastor part, what partner stands in front of about their partner's mental health struggles? It don't even have to be a pastor. What partner, what family member does that to a family member? Come on.
What I've said before, and
It's
I know
horrible.
what I've predicted, but I still at the same time, I have this like tiny hope that he will come to his senses at some point and he'll stop attacking her memory and he'll stop attacking her family. I just can't believe that he's still doing it. So I just think if he knows what's good for him, he won't do this.
I personally think everything that he's been doing is going to be used against him.
Well,
down the line civilly, like each and every one of these videos that it's not, because if it was just the video.
And it's a great conversation, and he's here. Let me let him finish a little bit.
Itself, yeah, he has a right to say this, but this bleeds into everything, and it's it's going to be part of it. It's going to be part of a civil suit.
No, and that's what I'm saying. That's what exactly.
And here's the link if you want to finish it. We just checked out a little part. I wanted you guys to hear that small section of what Magnolia was saying with JLR. It was a great conversation. When it comes to that. Sorry, I think I got the power issue fixed. And I think I just have to have this. Whoop. I think I just have to have the light on in order for the power to work or something. There we go. I wanted to show you guys some other stuff here real quick. Whoops. Whoa, what happened here? Okay. Now, this link is probably not going to fit in YouTube. I don't understand what's going on with the links tonight. Hold on, I gotta fix this. There. All right. So go show that video some love. Okay, why is that popping up? Okay. So this is another article, May 7th. And this says, there's an ongoing investigation into the passing of Myrtle Beach woman who was found in Robeson County last weekend. ABC 15 requested reports from the Horry County Police Department that listed 30-year-old Micah Miller as the victim. HCPD sent 2 reports from March 11th. According to the documents, Miller reported to police that a razor blade was placed in her tire at the Springmaid Pier. She claimed this was the second time a razor had deflated her tire within that week. The report said that Micah was leaving the pier. She heard a pop and noticed metal protruding from her tire. The responding officer said the metal was a tire deflation device that could be bought online. Miller believed a suspect whose name is redacted in the report may have placed or had the item placed on the tire. The report stated that Miller noticed strange activity and believed people were following or watching her. Miller told police that the unidentified suspect had had a history of similar actions against her. Who do you think's name was redacted from the report? It says police stated that the evidence was not sufficient enough to prove that the suspect placed the razor device under the tire. Later that same morning, another officer responded to the East Coast Honda dealership. The officer spoke with Miller, who advised that after another officer helped change her tire, she went to the gas station and then straight. Miller said that while at the gas station, the suspect in the incident pulled up next to her pump, trying to talk to her. She told him to go away and that she did not want to talk. Per the report, when she pulled out her phone to record, the suspect reportedly sped off. Miller then left the gas station to go back to East Coast Honda, where the suspect also showed up, according to the police report. When the officer was standing with Miller, she received a no-caller ID call, which ended up being the suspect. The officer noted in the report, the suspect was advised that the victim does not want any further contact, and if he proceeds, then warrants may be written up. The suspect acknowledged the advisory, police said. The victim told the officer she was afraid for her life. She also said that she blocked the suspect's number and would still get calls and texts from him on other numbers. After the officer left, Miller contacted him to say the mechanics found a tracking device on her vehicle. About an hour later, Miller also notified the officer that she was at the magistrate's office to get a restraining order. The officer requested to meet her to get the GPS device, to which Miller agreed. While out front the magistrate's office with Miller, the officer saw a white Honda Accord slowly drive by, and Miller said it was the suspect in her car driving by. The vehicle then sped up and drove away, the report concluded. Here's this video.
Do you want to go to jail?
I'll be on Facebook in a few hours.
Alrighty, you'll be in jail in a few hours. Walk away.
Now, that moment shows it's a window into everything that kind of been guessing between these two, the struggles that they've been having for the previous 2 years, it sounds like. But in the weeks leading up to her death, there were multiple police reports. And this was one of those contentious days where police were called twice. And this video kind of shows the nature of the relationship in that very moment. Now, it's worth saying, he has not been charged with anything. Police have ruled this as suicide. So this is just context for an extremely
What's up, Mark
troubled
and Betty?
relationship.
Oh, crap, it won't let me zoom. Hold on a minute. I have to save these real quick. Hold on. All right, hold on. Let me see here. Let me save these real quick. Hold on, I have to switch my screen share. All right. Can you guys see it okay? I can't tell. All right. Hopefully you can see it okay. 3/11/2024. Margarita Drive. (1:20 a.m.) 3/11/2024. 1:20 a.m. So if you've heard everything that's been discussed tonight, there's the police report right there. Same thing that was what was stated in that article. Right there. From the plaintiff himself. Requested the case be dismissed. Now, there's a couple other things I wanted to show you guys. Shout out to all the angels here. Let me see. This one right here. Well, we are losing thousands every week until lawsuits start working. But I'll do $350 per social media person. So for every person you get me, well, there's stuff I could do $350. And if any of those people actually bring in money, I'll hook you up with 10% of what actually comes in from that particular wheeling and dealing. Wheeling and dealing. This was from Robbie Harvey. I believe this was yesterday. JusticeForMicah.com. Send the screenshots if you're reached out. Abigail wants people to share this as well. Not another one. Not another victim. Micah's Law, Justice for Micah. And then there's QR codes that you can scan. And then there's two more. Now check this out. Check this out. About an hour later, Miller also notified the officer that she was at the magistrate office to get a restraining order. The white Honda. The white Honda. Heard a lot about the white Honda. Hear a lot about the white Honda. The white Honda. The white Honda. Another way to intimidate somebody, use their own vehicle to drive by them to harass them. The mind games, you know? Speaking of mind games, check out these mind games. Randall said he was with Pastor Miller the night he got the call about his wife's passing, and despite what people thought about his preaching last Sunday, he was, quote, tore up. Quote, he was very tore up when we got the news. I was with him on Saturday night when he received the news. Very, 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 very tore up over it because he loved his wife very much. If the naysayers would tell the truth, they would know how much he did and tried to please his wife, Randall said. He said he has known Miller for a long time and was one of his teachers in high school. He also said he had been counseling Micah and Pastor Miller since September 2023 and was not aware of any abuse. He acknowledged that there was a, quote, little bump in the road during efforts to restore their marriage, but did not disclose what that bump was. Quote, I live by the Holy Spirit of God. If God would lead me to remove him, I will do that. It has not happened at this time. As far as abuse, they are lying about that. There was no abuse, Randall told CP. He didn't even want to remove JP. Like I told you guys in the beginning, these connections are crazy. When asked why Micah Miller wanted to leave her marriage, Randall said Micah did not even tell him she was filing for a divorce. She did not relay that to me, he said. Randall further noted that he couldn't remember the last time he counseled the couple together and was never told why Micah wanted to end their marriage. Probably because she caught on to everything, right? Just saying. Probably because she caught on to everything. The dude had his hands in so many pots. Now, Robbie Harvey did a great video about the pardon, and I wanted to play that for you too because it's very interesting. It's going to play a voicemail from JP and how he's asking and explaining why he should deserve one. Because it just don't look good, right? It just don't look good.
Especially for a leader.
Why does it do that? It always starts in the middle.
In 1998, John Paul Miller was convicted of hitting a woman with his truck multiple times. According to court documents, John Paul Miller hit the woman and then drove off as she hung on to his hood for approximately 100 yards. Also, according to those documents, John Paul Miller taped up his license plate to allegedly conceal his identity. In 2022, John Paul Miller looked to expunge that conviction from his records. A huge shout out to Steph Case Files on TikTok. She has obtained audio from that court hearing. Take a listen.
I can begin. My client, born May 20th, 1979, seeking a pardon for his assault and battery of high and aggravated nature. The incident date is listed as February 11th, 1998, and client pled guilty in June of 1999. He received a 4-year sentence, suspended to 3 years probation. Probation was completed without incident, and it's been 20 years since then. My client has completely turned his life around. He's got a family, wife, kids. He started a ministry, and so we are seeking a pardon for this to restore his civil liberties. As our religion and Lord teaches forgiveness, we're seeking that from the state. So I'll turn it over to my client to explain a little bit more about his life and changes since then, the last 20 years.
First of all, when it happened over 20 years ago, the incident was I was driving a work truck through a wake zone after a hurricane, and the person that brought the charge or whatever said that the waves of the wake zone, I guess, knocked them over or something. And when I went to court, I was young and I didn't have a lawyer and didn't know anything. And a lady that was in the courthouse just told me to plead guilty. And so I went in to plead guilty, and the person who was bringing the charges didn't even show up because they had 3 or 4 warrants out for their arrest. I never even met the person or saw the person ever in my entire life. And I didn't even know that I had this charge until a few years ago. We have a bunch of lieutenants and policemen in our congregation. And
okay, Mr. Miller.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Miller, let me tell you something. I'm sure your attorney will tell you we don't retry cases here. We just can't do anything about that. We just have the facts of the case as it is before. What we're trying to look at now is how have you changed? Why do you feel like you deserve a pardon? And some of the things you've been doing since all this happened.
I've started a church that has over 500 people in it each week. I started a homeless ministry that specifically takes vets that are homeless off the streets, gets them jobs with people in our congregation. We get them a place to live, give them transportation once they've completed our courses. I started a Christian private school that is the most affordable school in all of Myrtle Beach, so that any Christian family that wants to put their child in a private school can do so. Like I said, I didn't even know this charge was on my record until recently. And you know, I would love to have the pardon just because I think it's the right thing for me, and I think it's the right thing to do in general.
How's it going to help you? What are you looking to do?
I guess I'm just looking for a little bit of forgiveness, and I think that it would, you know, with the lieutenants and the policemen in our congregation, just, you know, it just adds to my, the things that I've accomplished in the past 20-something years. It just feels weird having a charge on your record like that.
But you did it.
How it took place.
But you did it.
And I think that because it's been 20 years since the completion of his probation, we're looking to restore civil liberties, and especially for a leader of a church, person who's started educational programs and homeless vet programs. I think that restoring civil liberties for a man like this is important as an American and as a South Carolina resident.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, and I appreciate the clarity there. And I'm not going to ask you about giving back to your community because your whole life looks like you're headed back, giving back to your community through your ministry, sir. Is there anything, Mr. Miller, that you haven't been able to tell us that you want to make sure this board knows today?
No, sir. I guess that sums it up. Thank you for your time.
Well, we appreciate you appearing today. Anything in closing, Mr. Brown?
We appreciate you.
Just that it's been 20
We appreciate you being here today.
Years again, and my clients, the change in his life is, it was brought on not by the state, it's by his own self-doing. And I think it's night and day from the 90s to now of what he's done, what he's accomplished, not for himself and his family, but also for the community as a whole in the state of South Carolina. And I think that warrants the restoration of civil liberties. He knows that the charge won't be removed from his record, but it's the forgiveness based on the life that he's lived, the exemplary life he's lived, and the goals and rewards that he's sought for not only himself, his family, and the rest of South Carolina.
Now, remember, in family court filings a few weeks ago from John Paul Miller's ex-wife, Allison, she accuses John Paul Miller of obtaining the assistance of the police chief.
And we're going to be getting into this when we do our deep dive, trust me.
To help him expunge his record. She says that John Paul Miller wanted to do it so he could allegedly buy weapons. Because as a convicted felon, you're not legally allowed to do that.
Right.
I have spoken with the husband of the victim from this incident back in 1998, and he says he remembers it clear as day. He says he even remembers what the temperature was like that day. For certain reasons, I'm not going to go into the details of our conversation, but they certainly tell a different story than what you just heard from John Paul Miller. And I do have a few questions that maybe someone in the comment section can answer. In hearings like this, in regards to a serious conviction like this, do they not hear out victims? Do they not take their testimonies? Do they not speak with people who are associated with John Paul Miller? Would they not talk with...
Right, witnesses, referrals, statements on their behalf, there's a lot.
With Allison, his ex-wife, would they not talk about their divorce? I'm just curious. I genuinely don't know. And I wonder, was John Paul Miller the only one there speaking that day? Obviously, we're looking at this from a hind...
Nope, you know damn well he had some of those buddies that, the buddies, right, detective? The badge. We all know what happened. That shit needs to be reversed. We all know what happened. If you did it, you did it, I just need a little forgiveness. It's always easier to ask for forgiveness than it is permission, right? Ridiculous. It's always easier to ask for forgiveness. I want to say thank you all for hanging out. Appreciate you so much. We'll be back tomorrow. Got some more work to do in the background, but we will be back at some point tomorrow. Thank you all for hanging out. Please hit the like if you haven't yet. And have a peaceful and positive evening. Tell everybody you love them. This shit, there's just not enough love in this world, man. Just tell them you love them. Appreciate you. Love you guys. See you tomorrow.